EPTA Regulatory News Voices. Conversations on the latest trends and regulations in commercial refrigeration. Refrigerant technicians, a key figure within the context of EPTA Group, are nowadays increasingly fundamental to respecting those rules, specializations and competence that the market requires. I'm Marco Ferraro. I'm here with Francesco Mastrapasqua, EPTA Institutional Affairs Manager. We will try together with this nice chat of us to take stock of the situation linked to refrigeration technicians and all the practices dedicated to enhancing their role within the market. Welcome here, Francesco.
Hello, Marco.
So let's start with our first step together. What are the main activities carried out by the refrigeration technicians?
The refrigeration technicians are crucial in our industry, very important. And really, the list of the things that they do and their duties and their responsibilities is very long and is very important. They are a crucial actor in the lifetime of our equipment. They have the responsibility to maintain the equipment during its whole lifetime, from gate to the end, let's say, and at the same level of performance, efficiency, quality, and sustainability. Okay. So they have a very, very important role, and they are aware of it because we see that there is a strong demand of training and competence. So they are coming to us and they want to be updated in all the technologies that we make available. Mm-hmm. Of course, we are the technology provider. We find the solutions. We make solutions industrial. We make solutions available, and we are the transition enabler for our clients. So we make it possible for our clients to meet their environmental targets. Mm-hmm. This is our mission. And our mission requires strong support and cooperation from the technicians, from all technicians in the field. Mm-hmm. It's so important. And important is also to train the technicians specifically on our solutions, because we see that year after year, new solutions appear on the market and new technologies ring the bell and come out and make available for the clients, for the market, with higher features and generally with a lower environmental impact than the older one. And following these evolutions, these technological innovations, is particularly important and critical for the technicians. So training skills really is so important. We devote a lot of our time and our investments to train technicians. We have several training centers all over the world where we train technicians, especially on the new technologies and especially those who work with EPTA for the first time. New technicians that enter in this profession, they require and they need and they feel the responsibility to be trained and particularly skilled on our technologies. It's interesting, and also I think it's thrilling for them, because learning is a key aspect of their professional life and very appreciated, I would say, from the market.
Okay, so let's talk about certifications and skills for sure concerning the EU regulation.
Well, I would say it's a particularly key point, this one. It's key because especially the latest, the F-gas regulation in force, number 2024-573, which was published and is in force since March 11 this year, so is the regulation in force today, requires that the technicians are trained and certified on any refrigerant that they want to work with. So this is an obligation. In the past, with the old regulation, only technicians working with fluorinated greenhouse gases had the obligation to have a certification, because the F-gas regulation is an environmental regulation. And therefore, the risk of managing fluorinated gases which have the warming impact potential within, and that are, in most of the cases, PFAS chemicals, or they degrade into PFAS. So, of course, they have heavy impacts in the environment. So, learning to manage fluorinated gases is extremely important in the context of an environmental regulation. But later on, the new regulation establishes this obligation also for technicians working with natural refrigerants, with CO2 and with propane. Because although in our sector, in refrigeration, these two refrigerants are well known, I think we have 100,000 installations with CO2 and perhaps, I would say, 5 million installations with propane in Europe. So it's no new for them. Of course, they are already acquainted. But in some other sectors, natural refrigerants, namely propane, are used for the first time, because the F-gas regulation is banning F-gases from new sectors, including domestic small capacity heat pumps and split systems. And in the area of refrigeration, the use of propane is at, I would say, in a more early stage, which requires, of course, more training and a focus on training on these two sectors. But of course, also in refrigeration, it's vital to be able to manage these refrigerants, really to get the best from them. So to get the best from the potential of these two refrigerants, which have extraordinary technical capabilities and potential.
Okay, so let's go deep about the meaning of the training as an element to be sector-based. What do you mean about that?
Yes, training must be sector-based. In fact, in the new regulation, you have specific training and certification for every refrigerant. So in the regulation, you find certification dedicated to CO2, one dedicated for ammonia, one dedicated for F-gases and propane, and so on. Because every refrigerant has its own peculiarities. In the case of CO2, it's high operating pressures. In the case of propane, it's flammability. In the case of fluorinated gases, is their environmental impact. So the risk that handling these refrigerants, you can leak a part of them, disperse a part of them in the ambient, thus harming the environment. So all the refrigerants have some points of attention, I would say, that require specific training and certification. But on training, I would also add that training must be sector-based, because not all the equipment is the same. I mean, we provide and we make available on the market several different technologies. And technicians meet our technologies in the field and must be prepared to make best use of these technologies for the sake of our clients, for the safety, for the savings, and for the efficiency that is key for our clients.
Cool. Say, let's go into the educational field, Francesco. How you can face for the needing of the new generations of technicians?
Well, Marco, I would say that for the new generations, this refrigeration is an incredible opportunity. We are in a situation where the ecological transition requires a number of new installations that is much, much more than in the past. Restrictions on fluorinated gases require replacement of equipment, and so many stores which are now outdated, they are maybe 10, 20 years old or more, need a replacement, and need a replacement in the next few years. So not in ages, but within 2030, for instance, or earlier. So I would say that refrigeration is a sector where young people can find new technologies, can find digitalization. Our systems are fully digitalized. We have remote systems, we have monitoring systems, supervision systems, artificial intelligence that lies within our technologies. So it's particularly thrilling, I think, also for young people to step into this market. And it's a market that guarantees to people who want to get into and get involved a future, because we will need more technicians more and more in the future. We don't find enough technicians, to be honest with you. Our industry demands a lot of technicians.
So the next question of mine is, what's the situation about the demand of employment on today's market?
I can tell you, Marco, that if we had the possibility to have 50% more technicians in the field, then it wouldn't be enough for our ambitions, for the ambition of a market that wants to make a transition, a green transition, wants to replace old equipment with new sustainable equipment. So I would say that we are eager to find technicians, and we're looking for people that want to get into this really interesting sector with a long future ahead, I would say.
Okay, so to be ready to find a good future and good arrivals for sure together. Okay.
Yes, I think what we are doing together with, let's say, other companies now, we are trying to offer as much as possible training, especially for young people that are starting this profession. But as I said, we don't have enough. I think that also in the level of policies, we could imagine and we wish, let's say, a schooling system, a training system at schools that prepares technicians for the future in refrigeration. We need more and more refrigeration technician schools and technical institutes that, let's say, prepare young people from their early stage of their career and make them ready for us, for our industry, more and more in the future. This is a challenge, you know, not only in Italy, but I hear the same thing from my colleagues abroad. I hear the same things from our colleagues overseas, in the US and in Asia. So it's a whole world that is changing and requires workforce. So this is exactly what we need. So I invite young people to not consider that, let's say, this profession is based on old tools, you know, and screwdrivers. That's really 100 years ago. Today we're playing with digital, ICT technical, networks, and artificial intelligence is there. So it's really emotional, I think.
So it's time for the final comments. Would you mind to leave one of yours to our audience?
Well, I think that the profession of technicians is a profession that is key and really deserves a lot of attention and investments. What I think, my advice is more for policymakers, I would say, for our institutions, to give support, to finance more courses of training to improve the skills of technicians more and more, certify more people, invest in training and formation. And I would say this is my wish for the institutions more than the market. The market knows exactly what they need, and we need more technicians.
So I would like to wish you a good day, and thank you to have followed with us in this moment. Thank you to have discovered with us this square about the refrigeration gas, and I would like to thank you, Francisco, as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.